Hi everyone, welcome to my channel where I simplify tech. In this video, I will show you how to build an organized content page just like the content page on my website using a Gatsby starter template that I published, Gatsby starter all content. The content page on my website contains all the public content I've created across several publications. I created this to organize my content instead of having them spread around. They also have this masonry layout where the next item uses the available space above. The page also makes it easy for someone to search if I've written on a particular topic or not. It's one of the amazing things that I added to my website. And then I created a starter template for anyone interested in having something similar. This template already has a readme showing you how to use it, but this is a video version of it. I'll be showing you how to use this template to organize all your content on your website like I did. This is the first version of the template, and based on feedback, I'll be making fixes and improvements. And while doing this, I'll try not to make any breaking change. And even if I do make a breaking change, I'll create an updated video with the updated version. Now let's jump to the fun part. Let's start building, and we'll be starting with creating a new Gatsby project with the template. Copy the repository link and head over to your terminal. Make sure you're in the right directory that you want to create your project. Then create the Gatsby project using npx gatsby new all content. All content is the name of the project, and then you paste the link to the repository. This is what Gatsby will use as the templates for your Gatsby project. You can skip the npx command if you already have Gatsby installed globally. With the project set up, move into that directory in your terminal and run npm run develop to start the development server. On localhost 8000, we can see the starter template. We have the blog page, which is super simplistic, no images, nothing advanced. You can build your own blog page however you like, with paginations if you want. And to the page we're more interested in, content. In the contents page, we have the tags. When you click a tag, the URL parameters are also updated such that even on refresh, you can have the same filters. And there's the search input. I can search articles with the deploy query, and it filters all the content that has the deploy word in it. Also, the URL is updated such that on refresh, the contents are filtered based on a tag of node and a search query of deploy. In the grid layout, there are currently 3 external publications: LogRocket, Simplified Technical Writing, and FreeCodeCamp. And the one internal publication is DillionMegida.com, which has the conclusion and introduction article on this website. These are all demo data, and moving forward, I will show you how to change this to your own content and to your own platforms. For the next section, how does this template work? Before showing you how to add content to this template, I want to first start by showing you how the template works by walking you through the source code. If you are not interested in knowing how the template works behind the scenes, you can fast forward to the time displayed on the screen where I show you how to add content. For this template, I organized all content in the data directory at the root directory. This directory contains the blog post for this website. Here you can see the conclusion and introduction articles. The data directory also contains the external content, and each external platform has its own file in the YML format. As you can see, FreeCodeCamp, abbreviated as FCC, is a YML file with FCC content. The structure is like this: the platform property, which holds the name of the platform; the link property, which holds the link to your profile page. If this page doesn't exist, you can pass null to this property. The content property, which is an array that holds all your content, and each content is an item. And each item has 3 properties: the title property, the link to the content, and a tags array. The tag filters, as we saw earlier, uses this array for filtering your content. The same thing goes for LogRocket and the writing platform. In Gatsby config, I added the Gatsby Transformer YML plugin, which passes the YML files. I also exposed the content source using Gatsby source file system so that I can query the content in that directory. In pages/content.js, there's a lot of logic happening here, but I'll only point out the most interesting part. At the end of the file, there is a content query, and this is where I query all the platforms. And in each platform, I query for the platform, the link, and the content objects. If the link were to be null, I won't query for that. The last query is for the articles on this website, which is sorted in descending order of date. At the top of the file, I have my imports. The notable imports here are the masonry for displaying the masonry grid, use media, which I use to change the masonry columns depending on the width of the screen, change without reloading, an utility I created such that on clicking on a tag and updating the URL, the site does not reload. Moving further, there is the common tags array. You can add more to these or you can remove any tag from this. Then I manage a state for all external contents and internal articles. And the remaining parts of the file is the logic for filtering and updating the state accordingly. Then to the UI part where I loop through the content and display them in the masonry component. This is the basic idea of how the current version works, and like I said, I'll be making improvements based on your feedback or suggestions, and I'll try not to make any breaking change, and just like I said, if I do, I would make an updated video. Now let's move to the next section, adding and editing content. Every content lives in the data directory as I explained in the previous section. This directory has the blog and content directory. The blog directory contains all articles on this website, and the content directory contains different platform files in YML format. Each platform contains the contents for that platform. To add a new internal article, you can create a file in the blog directory. I'll call this test.md. And then I provide the necessary front matter and start writing in Markdown. To add a new content to say FreeCodeCamp, go to the FreeCodeCamp platform file, which is fcc.yml, then add to the content array following the same structure of each item. You can also delete any content you want from here, and these additions will immediately reflect on the website. What if you wanted to add a new platform? Maybe you write for Smashing Magazine and you'd like to have your Smashing Magazine content on your content page. That brings us to the next session, adding and removing platforms. I'll start by showing you how to remove platforms from the template. To remove the LogRocket and writing platform, delete the platform files under the content directory, then head back to pages/content.js and delete every occurrence of these platforms. Remove them from the query, and then in the content components, remove them from the destructured data object and also from the all content array. In future versions of this template, there may be many other occurrences of these platforms in different parts of your application. The current version just shows 3 occurrences: the query, the destructured data object, and the all content array. But in future versions, there may be more occurrences. So if you are removing a platform, ensure that you remove every occurrence in other places they may appear, just so you don't break your application. Going back to the browser, the content page only has internal articles and content from FreeCodeCamp. Now let's see how to add platforms. Adding platforms is basically the reverse of removing a platform. So let's say we want to add a Smashing platform for our Smashing Magazine content. Create a smashing.yml file in the content directory, following the same structure of each platforms. I'm going to paste this here. In pages/content, write a query for the Smashing content, just similar to other queries. And in the content component, add Smashing to the destructured data object and also add Smashing to the all content array. Restart your server with npm run develop, and in the UI, we can see the Smashing content. And that is how you create an organized content page using my template. And this is also a regular Gatsby application, so you can still do all your other Gatsby font stuff like maybe light and dark theme, or maybe a more advanced blog page, or maybe you want to customize the content page to look the way you want. The process of adding and removing videos can be easier, I know, and that's why there is room for improvement. You're welcome to make a pull request or to point out issues. I would love to know your experience if you are using this template. And if you found this video helpful, kindly like this video, share it, and also subscribe for more content.